Doorkinders. Thank you, officer. I'll review these immediately.
Let me tell you something, people. Listen carefully, because this is one of those cases you don't forget, ever. I remember the exact moment the courtroom camera caught it. The second Karen Black's smug confidence shattered into 1,000 little pieces. Oh yes, I saw it in her eyes. She had just leaned back in her chair, called the key witness a liar right to their face, rolled her eyes at me. Yes, me, and waved her hand like the case was already over, like I was just a speed bump on her way to victory. Really, what happened in the next 8 minutes, 8 short, brutal minutes, would become one of the most devastating phone evidence reveals in courtroom history. 40 million views, every platform, everywhere. And here's the part she didn't know. The part that makes this case a lesson. That phone, it had been recording everything. Every text, every voicemail, every GPS, and I was about to make her sit there right in front of everyone and listen to her own voice destroy her entire case. Word by devastating. Word. Now Karen Black didn't walk into my courtroom. No, she strutted in, like she owned the place. Designer sunglasses shoved up into that perfectly highlighted blonde hair. Dressed for what she thought would be her big television debut as the wronged businesswoman. She clutched that leather portfolio like a weapon, stuffed with printed documents she believed would intimidate everyone in the room. I've seen her kind before. Oh, trust me, the kind who records customer service calls just to get minimum wage workers fired. The kind who demands a manager over every inconvenience. The kind who thinks confidence is the same thing as being right. She was 42 years old, and she'd spent her entire adult life winning arguments with volume and aggression, and she saw absolutely no reason why my courtroom would be any different. What she didn't understand, and what she was about to learn the hard way, is that some things cannot be intimidated. They cannot be manipulated. Technology doesn't care how confident you are, and the truth stored inside a smartphone, oh, it's merciless. Now before we get to the moment her lies unraveled in real time, yes, the moment everyone remembers, let me be clear about why this matters. This wasn't just courtroom drama. This was educational, inspirational, a masterclass in accountability. Proof that truth doesn't need to shout, it just needs receipts. Because this story didn't start in my courtroom, it started 18 months earlier. Karen Black and Jennifer Hayes formed what looked like a perfect business partnership on paper. Jennifer, a hardworking single mother of 2, had saved $30,000, every penny, her safety net, her hope for financial security. Karen presented herself as a successful entrepreneur, full of connections and experience, and she convinced Jennifer that together they could build something amazing. What Jennifer didn't know, Karen had a pattern: use people, drain them, move on. Within 3 months, money started disappearing from the business account. When Jennifer asked about unauthorized withdrawals, the gaslighting began immediately. Karen told her she was paranoid, that she didn't understand business expenses, that her questions proved how unsophisticated she really was. But Jennifer did something brilliant, something that would change everything. She documented everything, every text Karen sent, screenshot, backed up to the cloud, every voicemail, saved, organized by date, every threat, every condescending remark, every admission of taking money. Digital perfection. While Karen was draining the business dry, Jennifer was working 2 jobs, hospital cafeteria during the week, retail on weekends, just to keep her family afloat. Meanwhile, Karen went online and posted that Jennifer was incompetent, that she was ruining the business. Jennifer's children were bullied at school. Her reputation in their small community was shredded. Karen told anyone who would listen that Jennifer was unstable, a liar, probably the one stealing. And here's the truth, the real truth. It was all a lie. But confidence can be convincing. That's how gaslighting works. The loudest voice often wins until it meets evidence. And Jennifer had the one advantage that actually matters: proof. When Karen dissolved the partnership and then sued Jennifer for $30,000, claiming Jennifer had stolen, Jennifer finally fought back. She filed a counterclaim for embezzlement, harassment, and fraud. Karen laughed. She actually laughed. She posted on Facebook about how some people can't accept responsibility for their own failures. She told friends that going on my show would be easy publicity, maybe even lead to other TV opportunities. She spent the morning before court, checking her makeup, practicing her victim face in the mirror, convinced she was about to give the performance of a lifetime. What she didn't realize, not for 1 second, was that she was walking into an ambush, planned by someone she had spent 18 months underestimating. And me. Oh, I had seen Karen's type 10,000 times in my career. The overly confident litigant, the bully who thinks volume equals truth, the person who's gotten away with intimidation for so long, they can't imagine consequences. But here's the thing, people, and this is the lesson. In my courtroom, confidence doesn't win. Aggression doesn't win. Performance doesn't win. The truth wins. And sometimes, the truth speaks in your own voice. Before Karen Black ever opened her mouth in my courtroom, I had done my homework. I had reviewed Jennifer's phone evidence during pretrial preparation. Every last bite of it. I had seen the text messages where Karen admitted to taking the money. I had heard the voicemails where she threatened to destroy Jennifer's reputation. I had studied the GPS data that exposed her lies about so-called business trips. I knew with absolute certainty that Karen was about to experience the most humiliating 8 minutes of her life. And yes, I was ready to orchestrate every devastating second of it. That Tuesday morning, my courtroom was buzzing with its usual electric energy, cameras rolling, red lights on, millions of Americans at home, assuming this would be just another routine small claims dispute. The audience settled in. Production assistants checked lighting and sound. My bailiff stood ready, professional as ever. Nobody in that room, nobody except me, had any idea they were about to witness television history. This case was supposed to be straightforward. Business partnership dispute. We see dozens of them every season. Karen sat at the defendant's table looking perfectly composed, occasionally glancing at the cameras with what she clearly believed was her best serious professional expression. Jennifer sat at the plaintiff's table gripping her phone so tightly her knuckles had turned white. Her hands trembled just slightly. Her boyfriend sat quietly in the gallery, praying I'd give her the chance to show everything she'd documented. Then Karen stood up. Her opening statement, oh, it was a masterclass in false victimhood and calculated manipulation. Perfect posture, smoothed her expensive blazer, addressed me with that fake respect people use when they're actually talking down to you. Your Honor, this woman sitting over there claiming to be a victim is actually a thief and a liar. Her voice dripped with practiced sincerity. The kind you only get after telling the same lie over and over again until you almost believe it yourself. She painted herself as the successful businesswoman who made the mistake of helping someone less fortunate. She said she felt sorry for Jennifer, a struggling single mother, claimed she brought the expertise, the connections, the strategy, everything that actually mattered. All Jennifer had to do, according to Karen, was show up and handle basic tasks, and she couldn't even manage that. She paused very deliberately and looked straight into the camera, not at me, at the audience. Recruiting them, she claimed money started disappearing, that she confronted Jennifer, that Jennifer became emotional, unstable, defensive, that the accusations against her were just a cover for Jennifer's theft. Your Honor, I'm here seeking justice for the $30,000 Jennifer Hayes stole. Polished, rehearsed, completely false. But Karen had been getting away with this behavior her entire adult life, and she had no reason, at least in her mind, to think today would be any different. I watched the whole thing with calm patience. My face gave away nothing. My eyes missed nothing. I noticed how often she looked at the cameras instead of at me. I noticed the carefully chosen words designed to make Jennifer sound incompetent and emotional. I noticed what wasn't there. No dates, no transactions, no specifics, no evidence. And most importantly, I noticed the contempt. The way she kept glancing at Jennifer like she was daring her to challenge the story. That contempt, that was her fatal mistake. It made her sloppy. It made her overconfident, and it made her blind to the trap closing around her. Then Jennifer stood up. The contrast couldn't have been more dramatic. She moved slowly, still holding her phone like a lifeline. Her voice was quiet, but steady. The kind of steady that only comes from knowing you're telling the absolute truth. Your Honor, everything she just said is a lie, and I can prove it. Every single word. She held up her phone so I could see it. 8 months of text messages, 47 voicemails, email chains showing where the money went, GPS data proving where Karen actually was, banking screenshots with timestamps, social media posts contradicting Karen's story. Then she said something I'll never forget. I documented everything because I knew nobody would believe me over her. She's confident. She presents well. I'm just a cafeteria worker who trusted the wrong person. But my phone doesn't lie. Technology doesn't lie. And I'm ready to show you everything. The room shifted instantly. I leaned forward, just slightly, and yes, that small smile appeared. Regular viewers know it well. It means someone is about to learn a very hard lesson. Karen's confidence flickered just for a fraction of a second. A micro expression of fear. Then the smirk snapped back into place. She laughed, a short, dismissive sound that echoed through the suddenly silent courtroom. She interrupted me. Your Honor, I have to stop this right now. Irritated, annoyed. She said the texts didn't exist, or, if they did, they were edited, manipulated, fake. She insisted you could fake anything on a phone these days, claimed she was a professional, claimed Jennifer had no real evidence, because there was no evidence. Then she turned and pointed directly at Jennifer. You are a liar, Jennifer Hayes. You're lying to Judge Judy. You're lying to this courtroom. And you're lying to everyone watching at home. Those words hung in the air like a self-inflicted death sentence. Jennifer's eyes filled with tears, not from fear, but from recognition. This was the moment she'd dreaded for 18 months. The moment her abuser would stand confidently in public and call her a liar. But this time, it was different. Because this time, Jennifer had something Karen never expected. Receipts. Digital. Time-stamped. GPS, and I was about to make Karen eat every single one of her lies. I let the silence sit exactly 3 seconds, long enough for the accusation to sink in, long enough for everyone to understand the gravity of what had just happened. Then I leaned forward, that expression, the one that has made grown attorneys nervous for decades. Ms. Black, I'm going to give you one opportunity. One, think very carefully before you continue down this path. If Ms. Hayes has evidence that contradicts you, calling her a liar in my courtroom will not end well for you. Do you understand? Clear, direct, a lifeline. Any reasonable person would have grabbed it. Karen wasn't reasonable. She was arrogant. She laughed again, that same dismissive laugh that would soon be replayed millions of times online. Your Honor, I'm not worried. Let her show whatever fake evidence she thinks she has. The truth is on my side. She waved her hand at Jennifer, that bully's gesture, that I've already won gesture. Then she turned slightly and smiled at the camera, completely oblivious that she had just sealed her own fate in the most spectacular way possible. I felt my face change, not anger, not surprise, something colder, sharper, focused, like a winter morning in Alaska, where the air itself tells you to be careful. Very well, Ms. Black. I turned to Jennifer. Ms. Hayes, please connect your phone to the courtroom display system. Let's see this fake evidence. The technician stepped forward with the cables, and the large monitor behind me flickered to life. I watched Jennifer's hands. They were shaking so badly it took her 2 tries to plug the phone in. She wasn't nervous because she was lying. She was nervous because this was the moment her truth would finally be seen. And the second that phone screen appeared 15 feet tall, visible to everyone in the courtroom and everyone watching at home, I saw it. Karen's smile didn't disappear all at once. It cracked, just slightly at first, barely noticeable, but the damage was already done. Ms. Hayes, I said, cutting through the tension. Open your text message thread with Ms. Black. Her fingers moved, and suddenly, my courtroom was flooded with months of messages, every exchange preserved in digital perfection. Timestamps, names, no guessing, no excuses. I had her read the first one aloud, 3 months before the lawsuit. Listen, Jennifer, I'm taking $5,000 from the business account for marketing expenses. Don't argue with me about it. There it was, black and white, Karen's name at the top, date, time. No interpretation required. Karen flushed immediately. That's out of context. Your Honor, legitimate business expense. Oh no, we were just getting started. Scroll. The next message, 2 hours later. If you question my decisions again, I'll make sure everyone knows you're incompetent. I have connections. I can destroy your reputation in this town. Don't test me. The courtroom went dead silent. Someone in the audience actually gasped. Karen sat up straighter, her designer blazer suddenly looking less like armor and more like a costume. I was under stress, she said. I didn't mean it like that. I didn't raise my voice. They sound exactly like threats. Ms. Black, keep scrolling. And it just kept coming. I don't care if clients are complaining. You're just the worker. I'm the brains. I took another $3,000 today. Consider it payment for my expertise. You should be grateful I even let you be part of this. And then the one that made the room recoil. If you can't afford to live, maybe you shouldn't have had kids. Disgust rippled through the audience. I let the silence sit. Heavy, uncomfortable. Ms. Black, I said, these don't look edited. They look like the words of someone who enjoyed power. They look like the words of a bully who never expected consequences. All the color drained from her face as she watched her own words condemn her on that screen. But the texts, that was just the warm dash up. Jennifer spoke again, and I could hear it now. Strength. Your Honor. I also have 47 voicemails. Would you like me to play them? Karen panicked. Voicemails can be edited, taken out of context. I stopped her with a look that has ended many bad ideas. Ms. Black, unless you're about to tell me someone created a deepfake of your voice, technology far beyond Ms. Hayes's resources, I suggest you sit quietly and listen. I nodded. Play the first voicemail, and then Karen's own voice filled my courtroom. Cold, cruel, unmistakable. Jennifer, you pathetic little nobody. I saw you talked to the accountant. Huge mistake. I'm going to destroy you. I'll tell everyone you're a thief. You won't get a job anywhere. Your kids will be so embarrassed they'll change their last names. People physically recoiled. Karen went white. Her hands clutched the table like it was the only thing holding her upright. That was the moment her world started collapsing. The second voicemail was worse. Stripped of emotion, pure calculation. I'm taking another $8,000 tomorrow. I've already forged your signature. If you report it, I'll say you approved it. No one will believe you over me. Think about your kids. Forgery, theft, threats. All admitted. In her own voice, she slumped forward, hair falling into her face. Hiding from cameras she'd been smiling at minutes earlier. Confidence, gone. Control, gone. I let the echo fade. Ms. Black, I said calmly. You just heard yourself admit to forgery and theft. You threatened a woman's children. You said no one would believe her. Then I turned to Jennifer. What else do you have? GPS data, she said steadily. She lied about business trips. I nodded. Show me. March 15th, claimed Chicago conference, charged $2,200. The GPS never left the state. 6 hours at a luxury day. Spa. Massage. Facial full body treatment. All billed as business expenses. And it didn't stop there. Dallas, Boston, networking, meetings. GPS showed country clubs, shopping malls, 7-hour spa visits. Month after month, lie after lie. Then I asked for the banking screenshots. Withdrawals, just under $10,000. Every time, $3,000, $5,000, 8,000. Always matching the texts, always deposited into her personal account. Irrefutable. And that's when Karen broke sobbing. Mascara streaking. Designer image destroyed. Please, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. Can we settle? Please don't make this public. I'll pay it back. I felt no sympathy. Your reputation was destroyed the moment you underestimated digital evidence and called a truthful witness a liar in my courtroom. Then I ruled. Swiftly. Mercilessly. $34,000 stolen funds, $8,000 costs, $12,000 emotional distress. Total judgment, $54,000. And then the part that really mattered. This evidence is being forwarded to the district attorney for potential criminal prosecution. Public record forever. Ms. Hayes, you are vindicated. Ms. Black, you are dismissed in disgrace. Gavelled down. Done. Within an hour, the clip exploded online. 40 million views in 24 hours. The moment she called Jennifer a liar, followed by her own voice, destroying her, became the most shared courtroom moment of the year. Karen got the fame she wanted. Just not the way she imagined. Clients dropped her. Lawsuits followed. Boards removed her. Audits exposed more theft. Empire collapsed in a week. But this case wasn't about her downfall. Was about Jennifer. About vindication. About proof that documentation matters. Her phone became her defender, her witness, her justice. And the lesson is simple. People, in the digital age, lies have times. Confidence is not credibility. Volume does not defeat evidence. If someone is gaslighting you, document everything. If someone abuses power, keep receipts, because your phone remembers what they want you to forget. And somewhere, there's a courtroom where the truth will finally be heard. Justice served, one phone reveal at a time.